Hi everyone, welcome back to this quick webinar on how to use ch-aviation database. Just a quick introduction before we get into things. My name is Iris and I'm the head of customer success here at ch-aviation. So if you are a current client, you are probably familiar with me because I'm your account manager. If you are becoming a client, you will soon be with me. So looking forward to connecting with you guys. So without any further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into showing you the database. So as you can see, I'm currently logged in, and please do make sure that you are logged in because that is the most important step. Otherwise, you probably have noticed that most of the things are behind the paywall, so you will not be able to see anything if you're not logged in. I'm going to start and go from top to bottom. So first thing that I want to show you guys is where you can find your account settings. It's here next to the logout button. So when you click on the account settings, there you will see the remaining days of your current subscription, what products are you currently subscribed to. If you have any invoices, you will be able to see the invoices there, outstanding or the paid ones. And if you want to change your password, you can do so there as well. So I'm currently on the ch-aviation homepage. So homepage and the news page are different. So when I click on the homepage, this is some of the things that I see. So you can see the banners of the people that are advertising with us. Just a side note, if you're interested in advertising within ch-aviation, please do write us an email. You can write to any person familiar to you from ch-aviation, or you can just write to sales@ch-aviation.com. And yeah, we would be happy to help with that as well. When I'm on the homepage here, I can see some of the most clicked on articles in the last 24 hours. So let's see the most popular ones. So I can, for example, find an article through the homepage. So I see something about Air France. I just opened it in a new tab. I just want to show you different ways how you can access same things actually. So I can see also some of the information on what is happening within CH Aviation. So this is something that we released last year. So this would be our Fleets Advanced, which is a replacement for the Fleet Classic module. You can also see some other interesting things like what we're working on, etc., etc. So if I go to the news section, so we're just going to leave this open. Actually, let's just go here. Let's show you how you can navigate through this as well. So this is a news article, a particular news article that I have opened, which would be the same thing. So I have opened this through the homepage, which would be the same thing as doing so through the news page. When I click on the news, what I want to draw your attention to is this part of the database here. So if you are currently subscribed to CH Aviation Pro, which means that you have basic access to airline and airport information as well as the news articles, please do mark just the news. As I have done so, the cookies will remember your preference, will update it for you the next time you log in. If you are subscribed to schedules, you can click this one as well because these are the route network updates that we post as part of the news. And who's on the move is if you are subscribed to contacts, or some segment is also portrayed within the lessor contacts. So if you do have contacts or you do have fleet ownership and you would like to see who is transferring, let's say from one leasing company to another or from one airline to another, please do click on this one, update it, and everything will be portrayed here. So I just want to show that you can search by a company. So you can say, okay, I want to see Air France, or I want to see everything about Bombardier, any manufacturers. You can just simply enter it here. You can search by the airport, continent, country, aircraft family, etc. So these ones that are gray doesn't mean that they're not accessible to you. You just have to click on this little cross here, or just click here to remove it as well. What I want to talk specifically about is the list or your favorites. So when you click here, you will get a drop-down list and see. So for example, I tried creating Amadeus list or tried creating customers list. These are the ones that come within your settings. So let's just leave that for later. Just have in mind that you can search by the list as well. I will tell you later how you can do that. Before I forget, two important things that you can find not only within the news tab, but within any tab that you click are the submit your ideas and the coming soon. I'm just gonna quickly open them up just to show you guys how it looks. Submit Your Ideas is basically a portal that we have made for all of our customers. So we really do highly appreciate your opinion. We want to develop the database in the direction that you think is necessary. So whenever you have any ideas, please go to Submit Your Ideas. You can either vote. So for example, I have voted on this idea. You can see that. And you can vote for ideas. You can add your ideas. And our CEO, Thomas, he is predominantly in charge of this, and he will definitely get back to you on your idea and tell you, so for example, this one is planned, or he will leave a comment when we do have plans on doing that, or why we are not planning on implementing that. When it comes to coming soon, so as you have seen, it's accessible through here. So when you open coming soon, you can see what we are currently working on and what we have plans on working on in the future. So here you can read a little bit about our immediate and actually near and distant future. So yeah, this would be the news tab. So we were discussing the favorite list. So for example, when you open any airline, or currently here I'm looking at Air France Secure's wet list of Embraer 190. So for example, I want to click on Air France because I'm interested in them. I'm simply going to open this hyperlink, which gives me information about Air France. So as you can see, okay, I will just unmark it, just leave it close. Okay, as you can see in your settings, all of these little stars are turned into gray. When you want to add it to the list, you click on the star and say, okay, they are my customers, and they are immediately added, and you can tell so by seeing the star turn yellow. Just close this one. When you're in the news, you say, okay, I want to see my customers. I'm going to click on search, and I will get all of the information about Air France or any article mentioning Air France, not just written about Air France. And I will also get the rest of the companies that I have marked as my customers, because that's the current list I'm viewing. So that is pretty neat if you want to have all of the news that you're interested in one place. We currently do not have a customizable newsletter that you get each Sunday, but we are currently working on that, as you probably have seen in the coming soon. So yeah, that will be possible, but for now, this is an alternative to that. So yeah, this is the basic information. So I'm just going to quickly guide you through the modules and tell you which module includes what access. So when you have access to ch-aviation Pro, you are able to see this page. So the basic information, you are able to see the news page. You are also you are able to see the ownership and partners page, meaning that you can see the subsidiaries, alliances, co-share agreements. So yeah, we have plenty of those here. And you can also see the financial and passenger information. So yeah, all of the numbers will be here. All of the numbers are provided by the airlines themselves. So yeah, this is just a neat summary of everything that's been happening in a financial year. You can also see the passenger numbers according to the years divided as well. So what I want to do now is focus on the rest of the tabs. So we have covered the news tab. I'm going to jump into the aircraft tab. So the aircraft tab is divided. I do apologize for lack of response from my internet. So when it comes to the aircraft tab is divided within 3 modules. So we have Fleet Advanced, we have Fleet Ownership, and we have Charter Aircraft Search. So this would be Fleet Advanced. You can go about it by going to the aircraft search, or if you are particularly interested in orders and utilization, which is included in the Fleet Advanced module, you can just simply go and click on one of these modules. Charter Aircraft Search is another module, so I will go into that later. One other thing that I just noticed that we have added quite recently, and for those of you who are users, perhaps you haven't noticed this, currently we have divided our operator regions. So what I have done is created an IRIS region as a test region. So you can, for example, go and say, okay, I want to see the African Union and see all of the fleet information about that. Or you can go and say, okay, I want to see the IRIS region, and I want to see, so currently in my region, which I believe is Croatia, where I'm currently based, there are only 17 aircraft and 3 carriers. What you can also do is manage regions. So if you want to create your own region, please click on Manage Regions. it will open up a new page that will take you into your account settings under my regions and see that, for example, in my region, okay, I have Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. If you want to remove them, if you want to delete them, you can edit, you can delete it, you can do whatever you want and just create a region for yourself so your search is easier. Okay, going back. So here I'm just going to show you with this, everything of this, I would encourage you strongly to play with it because it all depends how you're using the database and what you're looking to find. I'm going to show you some hacks that you might not know of. So as I have said, the gray ones that you see are all accessible to you. You just have to click on the little plus. So for example, I'm going to choose Europe and I want to see all 320s. I want to see only the active ones. I want their maximum takeoff weight to be, okay, let's put this as a minimum. If you want to see the current market values and monthly market lease rates, that is a part of fleet ownership. So if you have access to that, you can easily access that through here, or you can just later on edit. So when it comes to seating, you can also say, okay, I want to see just let's say economy or economy plus. I'm just going to leave this blank. When it comes to ownership, let's just leave the owner and the manager because I want to show you something else actually. Okay, let's click on search. So this is the search that I get when I choose Europe, Iris region, and when I choose the 320 family. I also chose the active aircraft. So once I have the search, if I forgot to add something or I would like to add it additionally, I can just go to edit columns and say, okay, I would like to add the aircraft type and I would like to add the owner and I would like to add the engine manufacturer and the age. I'm going to click on apply and you will see the search change. So I can see the age, I can see the aircraft type, aircraft family, etc. If I have fleet downloads, so when it comes to our modules, they are, I would always say, like a Lego. You build them the way you prefer them to be built. So ch-aviation Pro is the basic module, and upon that you can add or not add modules. It all depends to up to you. If you have access to, for example, Fleet Advanced and Fleet Ownership on top of ch-aviation Pro, you are also available, or actually you can download the data with addition of fleet downloads. So the downloads within ch-aviation are separated and are considered specific or actually separate modules because some people are not interested in that and we wanted to make the price approachable for everyone. So yeah, if you don't want to download it, you don't have to, you're not obliged. If you want to download it, you just get in touch with us, add the downloads, and that's it. Besides the fleet downloads, we also offer contact downloads and airline downloads. I will show you how you can go about that as well. So what I also want to show you is that if you don't have downloads, so this is pretty neat, you are currently working on something, you have to go home, you can just simply save the search here, the one that you currently have. You can just save it, and tomorrow when you enter the database again, just click on load search, click on search after that, otherwise it will not move. Click on search and you are good to go. You can just continue working from where you last left off. So when it comes to aircraft order search, okay, let's just go into it. I mean, it looks pretty similar. And yeah, the fields are actually all the same. You can just go and say, okay, I want to see Europe and I want to see orders of all the aircraft for airlines and for lessors. Mind that this can be a factor for you. So somebody is looking at just the airline, somebody's looking at just the lessors. So just please mark or unmark them and do fill out all the fields that you feel necessary. So currently for Europe, there are 132 results and 3,104 orders. I'm just going to click on search to see how that looks. Yeah, so this is the search that I get. This is a good example to show you how it looks when the data is complete. So for example, for Aer Lingus, we know that it's going to be a wide body. The engine manufacturer is Rolls-Royce. We do know the engine type and subtype. So this would be a 350-900, and there are 5 of them on order. Here for AerCap, we currently don't know who the engine manufacturer and because of that, we don't know the type and subtype, of course. So here we left it blank. It's important to know that where we don't know the actual data, we don't make assumptions, we just leave blanks. So yeah, where we do know it, you will see it. Where we don't know it, it's currently left as blank, which doesn't mean that it won't get updated. Our data researchers actually have been working really heavily, and in the weeks from COVID, starting from 2 months ago, they have thousands of fleet updates. So I really do have to congratulate them on an excellent job. Yeah, so this is what the order looks like. Utilization, just including hours and cycles. If that is interesting to you guys, please do go about this module as well. It automatically includes the owner and manager. You can just remove that and play with the factors here. We can see the results are portrayed here. And what I want to show you next is the charter aircraft search. So this is another module that I have mentioned before. It is predominantly interesting to our charter broker customers. So here, let me just show you how it looks. Okay, let's go from JFK to LHR. And I want to fly in economy, and I want to have at least 100 seats. About the rest of the restrictions, I don't care. So let me just go to search, but you can just play by the assumed cost or kilometers, etc. Let's just see what my search will look like. Okay, so from New York to London Heathrow, we can see the distance and we can see the potential aircraft showing. I would like to draw your attention to the potential aircraft, which doesn't mean that these are 100% there. So if you want to go into more details, you can just get in touch with the people that we have listed here. So for example, for this particular aircraft operated under Norwegian, we do not have the exact person, but we do have an email address of the company where we can reach out to inquire more about the aircraft. This is a good example of a person, so a specific person that is in charge of this. And so you can say that on ch-aviation, I saw that you have a 318 with 131 seats. And the assumed cost would be this one, and then go into more details with Mr. Bruno, for example. So that would be charter aircraft, pretty straightforward. When it comes to lessors, this is actually a part of the fleet ownership that I have mentioned before. So you saw it in Fleets Advanced because it is included in the search. So you can, if you have access to that, you can go through that through Fleets Advanced, but you can also go through the lessor tab. So you can either say, okay, I want to see all of the lessors in Europe, or I want to see, okay, let's go and see AirCap, or you can just say, okay, I want to see anything like any lessors that have 320s. So I'm going to click on search. And this is the search that I get when I go into AirCap's profile. I can see that they are active within the information page. I can see their legal name, location, stock market symbol, etc. When I click on the portfolio, I get a summary of all of the aircraft that they have. So if I were to click down into more details here, or into more details, for example, here, let me just show you how it looks. The values that I have been mentioning before as part of our collaboration with collateral verifications are provided here as well. So you can see the total value and the monthly market lease rate. You can also see the average age of each specific aircraft. I'm just going to close this one. So this is what I opened when I opened their portfolio. So we can see that, for example, this aircraft is currently operated by Air Union. The aircraft variant is 300-600. It's a freighter. We can also see, yeah, so this is what I wanted to open, a specific registration. And I have an aircraft variant here. So I just want to show you how the data differentiates, of course, between the variant and the registration. So when I open a specific registration, I can see who's the operator, status, aircraft role, etc. What engines it has, how old it is, what is the maximum takeoff weight, and yeah, any available information. So for example, this is operated under a wet lease for Cargo Jet Airways. historical information from the moment the aircraft was delivered to either the owner or the manager until now, what is currently happening. Again, we see the aircraft values. So this particular current market value is over 5 million. When it comes to monthly market lease rate, it's $135,000. We can see also the summary of flight hours, or actually hours in cycles. And when I open, I'm just going to close this one. And when I open the variant, this is what it looks like. So Airbus is the manufacturer. This is the maximum number of passengers, maximum takeoff weight, noise category, etc. So any IATA and ICAO codes will be portrayed here as well. The number of cockpit crew, and then what are the operators that operate this particular aircraft type. If you want to go into more details, you can just, because we can see that there are a total of 624 of them currently active. This is the number of the inactive ones, the total number, and if you want to see the entire list, you can just simply click on show all and you will get it. Okay, closing this tab as well. Going back to the AirCap, if I want to see their orders, I can do so with the Fleet's advanced module. So I can see that currently they have 340 orders in total. 91 of them would be 320-200 Neos, 78 321 200 Neos, etc. So here where we have the engines, they will be portrayed. Here we don't have them, so yeah, they are not portrayed as of yet. Special purpose vehicles are also listed here. When it comes to customers, we can see all of the customers of AirCap. We can see, so for example, Aer Lingus has 10 aircraft in total, 9 of them 320s and 1 330. And you can also see the percentage of aircraft in the entire portfolio and the percentage of the current market value as well, if that is, of course, interesting to you guys. When it comes to contacts, so these are differentiated from the senior airline management contacts that we track. So these contacts are connected only to AirCap. And yeah, we see the name, job title, email, and LinkedIn profile. So yeah, this is a good example here. We are lacking some information. So yeah, we do not have LinkedIn profile of this person, but here we do have an email address and a LinkedIn profile. You can either just click on the hyperlink and go directly into Outlook. I believe everyone's settings work like that. But if not, you can just hover your mouse over it, and in the lower left corner of my screen, you will be able to see the email address of this particular person. If you're a user, this is very important to note. Please do use the incorrect, how do I say, incorrect column. Yes. This prompts my colleagues. So you're, for example, very familiar with Mr. Peter. You see his email here. You don't think it's correct. Please do click on the incorrect. That will prompt my colleagues in the data department to look into that and to work on fixing the address. We really want to keep the data up to date. Your help is highly appreciated with that. So please do let us know whenever you have any comments. When it comes to news, yeah, this is just including the news of AirCap or just mentioning AirCap. So it's just a summary of everything written about them in one place. When it comes to airlines, that is a part of ch-aviation Pro. So it allows you to see the basic information of the airlines, the overview of the fleet, and the financial information that I have showed you previously, and also the subsidiaries, partnerships. So here you can see similar things as you saw previously. So what I want to show you while we are here, because maybe it's a hidden gem, some people don't really know about it. The startup tracker, if you want to see that, you can just simply open it in a new tab or just click here. You will get a list of all of the startups. And when it comes to the PSS module, that is something that we offer additional for our PSS customers predominantly. So the reservation system and technology guys really do use it heavily. So if you want to see the reservation systems, you just go to the airline tab, click on the airline search, and here just click on reservations. It will be directed automatically to a new page. So here we can see all of the providers and all of their products. So for example, if I'm looking at Amadeus, I'm just going to open them in a new tab and just quickly go back to the airline search here. Okay. I got back too soon. So when I'm looking at Amadeus Group as a reservation system, or actually the IT provider, I can see that they are active, what is their legal name, when they were founded, etc. And here within the IT systems, I can see, okay, they predominantly have just one reservation system, but Amadeus has two. I can see that they have Amadeus Altea and Amadeus New Skies. When I click on 135, I'm going to get a list of all of the customers using Amadeus Altea. So I can see that Aegean is using them, Air Algiers, Air Astana, etc. So that is pretty straightforward as well. Just wanted to show you how that works. Getting back to the startup tracker, this is how it looks. You can filter by the country or continent or by an airline type. So for example, here you can say, okay, I want to see just passenger charter or scheduled carrier, etc. So this is what is currently happening. There are 521 airlines here in the results under the startup tracker. I can see the airline name, the code, airline type, the website, planned startup quarter. So this one is bound to happen now. They already do have aircraft in their fleet. These ones, for example, don't. We do have already contacts for them, and you can easily mark them as your prospects or as your existing customers, so you can keep an eye on them and everything happening regarding them. I'm going back to the airlines page. So I have shown you how this looks. So when it comes to airlines, I can, for example, go and say, okay, I want to see just the One World Alliance. I'm going to click on search. There are 32 airlines within One World Alliance. So for example, I can go and say, okay, I want to see American Airlines. I will just open it in a new tab. So if I do have airline downloads that I have mentioned before that we do offer besides the fleet and contact downloads, this is the data that I can download. So when I click on edit columns, I can edit all of these columns, just click on apply, and I can just download that data. If you're interested in the sample files of any kind of downloads that we offer, just reach out to us. We would be more than happy to send it. Or, of course, what you can do is probably much easier for you. When you are trying to download something without the downloads, the system will allow you to download a sample file. So you can use that as a frame of reference on what data you would get with the purchase of any kind of downloads. So I have opened a particular airline profile. So here on the info page, I get all of the codes, all of the websites, social media, etc. I can see their schedule by a click here if I do have that module. If it's IOSA certified, I can see that as well. News just contains all of the news. When it comes to fleets and bases, so I can see, besides going to the fleets module, I can see the fleet information with the necessary modules, of course. With Pro, you can just see an overview, and that's it when it comes to the details. You cannot go any further. But with Fleets Advanced and Fleet Ownership, I can see the complete list, the total number of active, inactive, wet leased in, and total number of the aircraft. If there are any aircraft on order, that would be here. What is the average age? And then when it comes to capacity, routes and schedules are portrayed here as well. When it comes to the orders, I can see that they have, for example, 55 321s and 250 aircraft in total. When it comes to the ownership, this is actually the lessor part of Fleets Advanced. We can see that how many 300, 600s are owned by American Airlines, what is the value. So here, this is a good example. Here, we do not have the value. It's portrayed as non-applicable. Wherever we have it, of course, the real digits will be shown. When it comes to, when it comes to lessors, we can see in one place all of the lessors cooperating with American Airlines, quite a big number of them. We can also see the engine types and subtypes that are used within all of the aircraft flying for American Airlines. And we can also see the bases, meaning that all of these have aircraft bases. Just going back up. So as I have shown, these are the subsidiaries, alliances, regional partnerships, and code share agreements. When it comes to contacts, this is a part of ch-aviation contacts module. So I'm going to show you how you can find it here, and then I'm going to show you how you can find it in the airlines tab. So here, yeah, again, good example of people that we are missing some data for. So for these 3 people, we do not have LinkedIn profiles. The rest is available. When it comes to the reservation system, so that before when I was showing you Amadeus Altea, that was one way to find it. Actually, New Sky, sorry. But here there is another way to find it. So when you go into a specific airline profile under the IT, you can see that they are using Sabre Airline Solutions. When it comes to financials and passenger numbers, they're just going to be portrayed here as seen previously, and the capacities are part of ch-aviation capacity module, showing you a weekly capacity and weekly frequency of flights. We also portray weekly ASK and ASM. You can drill down into more details to see top 10 airports by weekly capacity and frequency, top 10 routes by weekly capacity and frequency, and top 10 routes by weekly ASK and ASM. So yeah, pretty straightforward, but we will go into more details later. When it comes to airline search, so those of you who have been with us for some time might notice a change. The contact module was not here previously, but now when you go under the airlines, the contact search is here. So this is yet another example of the downloadable data. If you have Pro contacts and contact downloads, you can download all of the data that you see here. So for example, I'm going to choose, okay, Star Alliance this time. I'm going to mark that I want their email and social media profile, and I'm going to click on search. So with this criteria, we have around 300 contacts. So I'm currently on this search. If I have the downloads, I would simply click on the downloads and that will be it. If I don't have them, I can either hover my mouse or just directly click on it, whichever you prefer. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward as well. If you have criteria that need to be met, please do enter as much as you have because your search will then look much better. When it comes to airports, again, this is a part of ch-aviation Pro or the basic information. So, okay, I'm currently in Zagreb. Let's see what's happening in Zagreb. You can, of course, go by the country, etc. So, yeah, the basic information includes, of course, the name of the city, the name of the airport, and all of the codes. We can see that this is a civil airport. It's in Croatia. The coordinates and elevation and longest runway are also portrayed here. We do have some satellite mapping of the airport itself. And when it comes to statistics, we do have how many destinations are there served, carriers operating aircraft stored, etc. And you can also see airports in close proximity to this one. When it comes to, actually, I'm just going to go into this one. Crew bases, we see that they have 2 crew bases, Croatia Airlines and Trade Air, and news articles, everything written about Franjo Tuđman Airport. When it comes to capacity, we have seen that for American Airlines. I just want to show you that it looks exactly the same for the airport. It, of course, just portrays information about airport, not the airline. So there you would see top 10 airports, and here you can see top 10 airlines. I'm just going to close this one, and I'm going to go into the routes. So routes are actually a part of the schedules module. So if you are subscribed to schedules, you of course have access to both routes and schedules. When it comes to routes, so unfortunately, with all of the information and all of the events from COVID-19, there are a lot of changes. So I play it safe and I go from a continent to a continent. It gives us much more chances of actually finding information. So from Europe to Europe, I'm going to leave the origin and destination as blank. If I want to choose okay, let's just leave it at any aircraft. If I want to choose an airline for which I want to see a particular route, I can just do so here. If I want to choose just like, let's say, passenger or passenger and cargo, I can do so here. I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm just going to click on search and see how the route looks. Okay, so we can see that Aalborg in Denmark is flying to Amsterdam Schiphol. The KLM Royal Dutch Airlines is operating that, and we can see that if there are any remarks, they will be portrayed here. And if I want to go into details of that particular route, I can do so by clicking here. I'm just going to open it so you guys can see what it looks like. Once again, apologies for the slowness. So yeah, this is the basic information. What is the origin, destination? Is it a part of a schedule? So this is the distance, origin and destination into more details, what carriers are operating this particular route, and what are the codeshare agreements. If I want to see any of the codeshare agreements, I can simply click on the schedules and go into more details there. I'm quickly going back. So let's just go into schedule so I don't confuse you with the capacity right away. You will see that it looks pretty much the same, except that there are some added fields here. Okay, again, going from Europe to Europe, you can just choose the service type here, flight type here. So for example, if you want to choose just international or just domestic flights, you can do so here. You can also search by the departure date or the departure period and then enter the criteria here. I'm just leaving it as it is, just want to show you how it looks. Okay, so this is what the schedule looks like. So for example, again, we have Denmark going to Amsterdam under this particular flight number. This is the schedule, so it's flying on Saturdays. Departure time 12:05. Terminal for departure is unknown. Where we do have it, it's portrayed here, trying to find one. Okay, currently unknown for all of them. Arrival is at 1:25. Terminal of arrival unknown, but for example here, okay, here we know that it's terminal 3. They're flying with a 777. The duration of the flight is 1 hour and 20 minutes, no stops. The carrier is KLM. And when it comes to the remarks, you can just open that and see as well. So here we can see that the remark is under KLM City Hopper. Okie doke. I'm going, okay, this one, yes. So yeah, this is the schedules module. And when it comes to capacity, you can go and search for the capacity. Okay, let's again try from a continent to a continent. Let's just see the total capacity for the current situation. Here we can play with the results. So it's important to know that you can choose to have an airline and an origin, airline and a destination, route, etc., or just airline, route, origin, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Click on search. Before I click on search, a little disclaimer how we differentiate between the classes. So you can see that our economy plus comfort versus premium economy and business versus first class, how we actually work on that. All of the capacity schedules and route data is provided in cooperation with OAG, so it's in alliance with them. I'm going to click on search and see what the capacity for Europe looks like these days. So yeah, we are seeing some significant increase in the numbers, if the numbers are actually correct. I'm sure that most of you know that most of the airlines are publishing the schedules that will not unfortunately happen, that will not, and flights that will not take place. So yeah, these are the numbers that we have as of the last update. And most of the schedules and capacity data within our database is updated weekly. So yeah, this is what it looks like currently. Air France is the leading one, followed by Lufthansa, Aeroflot, S7, etc. So that would pretty much be it. I would like to say in a nutshell, but since I've been talking for 40 minutes, maybe not so much in a nutshell. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat box, or you can just send an email to either your account manager or just sales@ch-aviation.com. I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to join me on this webinar today. I hope I was not too boring. I hope you learned something new. And if we can help with anything, please do feel free to let us know. Thank you all so much. And I wish you everyone a lovely, lovely day.